Now we're going to move on to knit. Using the pattern piece that says feeding tube pocket used for knit, cut to mirror images. Make for sure the greatest stretch is going across. So here I've cut out my 2 pieces, and here's my greatest stretch. Okay. Now I'm using a modified pattern for this attachment. So I know that the top of my that's going to attach to this onesie bottom is 2 inches, and so I'm going to leave enough room for my seam allowance and then put this pocket right underneath it. So what you're going to do is, with the greatest stretch, you're going to bring this together, wrong sides together. So you want to make for sure your greatest stretch is still this way, the short end. So you want it to be a long piece, both of them. And then you're going to do the same thing that you did with the woven, if you've done that. If you haven't watched that video, it'll be linked. So I'm gonna give myself some seam allowance room and some room to go. I'm gonna go down about 1 inch. And it's the same method that we used for the other. This one's a little bit smaller pocket-wise, but it has stretch to it, so it doesn't need as much give as the woven one does. Okay, and we're gonna attach it the same way. Okay, now putting the pattern right sides together, we're going to do it just like we would a pocket, except with the exception that we are not going to sew this closed. To here, make this straight. Depending on your tubie, you may choose to put this pocket on both sides or just one side. I know for my daughter, it works best for it to be on the right side. She is on a continuous feed, and so she is attached all the time, and her she has a G-tube. Her G-tube is over here on the left side, and we use a grip block to hold it over, and it makes for the best thing for her. And then the pocket is here. So it kind of helps with holding the tube in place, making for sure it doesn't move. It's not necessarily meant for that, but it does help. I've made this for several people, including my own daughter, and I have noticed that it doesn't pull, and it just kind of helps with that secure feeling. If you wanted to, you could go in here and put snaps on either side of here. It's definitely not necessary, but if you wanted to make for sure it didn't move, you definitely could do that. And that way you could snap it kind of close to it so that it was, if you wanted it to feel more secure, you could make this smaller or bigger. I made it this size so that it would work for multiple ages, but if you felt like it was too big for your tubie, you could definitely make it smaller and the same principles apply. So there we go. Feeding tube pocket.